what I need to do to make you see that it ain't another woman out here right for me. You got me living.
I'm just a D girl from around the way with a whole lot of shit to say. It's your girl, KD.
What up, though? You know who it is. It's your boy, Coach DTM, aka Pure Motivation. I am Mr. Energy. Everybody love him. Y'all don't have one enemy. Our podcast is now. So I'm ready. You never got to respect it. What I just said. You say it for me. Our podcast is here, so you got to respect it. You never get off on us because what?
We're never the exit.
If you know me, then you know that I'm more than a savage who loves living life and is allergic to
average.
So in conclusion, so it's no confusions. If you see somebody realer than us,
it's an illusion.
Talk about it. Listen, I'm still drunk from Katie's birthday.
I'm still tipsy from last night.
Yeah. I'm still drunk from Katie's birthday, man. So, we don't know how this episode is finna go, but I'm the husband.
And I'm the wife.
And this is
marriage. Sorry.
You're right. Go ahead. What is it?
Marriage material.
Talk about it. All right. So listen, Katie and I we had a conversation. We want to bring y'all in on this conversation, man, because we wanted to make sure that we were doing great service here. You know what I'm saying? On marriage material. And as I was working in the background, I said, babe, this looks just like what we've already been doing. It looked like we're doing the same thing twice. So I'm like, we need to switch it up. So she was like, bet, let's do it. Which is something that Katie says is quite often. She was like, bet, let's do it. Like, no pushbacks at all, really, for in a lot of areas. So I was like, babe, I got a new idea. She was like, bet, let's do it. I'm like, all right, cool. So what we're gonna do now is we want to make sure we actually helping people based off of what we've been through in our life and our tenure of relationshipness. All right. So each week we're gonna bring you guys certain situations and things that we've probably been through, not probably, but things that we've been through and how we worked through them and what we saw and how we got to this point, man. And 26 years, guess what that means?
What?
We ain't gonna run out of nothing. We're gonna keep going.
Nah, for real.
We're gonna keep going, man. We got it.
27 years this year.
27 this year. Talk about it. So I got a few situations, but we're just gonna start with the one right here. We'll start with this one. So back many, many moons ago. This was in the beginning of 2000, the year of 2000, but it was actually 2001. I want to say, right? Am I correct with this? Date wise?
Yeah. I
think it was 2001. And the more I talk about this, I think Katie will probably be able to give you an actual date and timestamp.
Sure,
because she got that on she got that situation. But so this is what happened. I had a homeboy who had a girlfriend, and he was kind of stuck in the crib and couldn't get out the house at the moment. His girlfriend was in a little bit of some heat. And me, as a young man who grew up on the east side of Detroit, that had a little bit of a hot-headed side, I was always pretty much ready to go. What they got a phrase for that now. What is TTG? That's what they say?
Train to go.
Train to go. I was ready, right? So I'm chilling with my girlfriend at the time, KD, and our new baby. How many days old? Possibly.
Maybe a week.
Maybe a week, maybe two, But we chilling, and I get a phone call, and it's like, yo, my girl in a little situation.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Back it up. No, I was pregnant.
Okay.
Because it was like the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So baby almost here.
Yeah.
Not here quite yet. And I get the call and he like, yo, my girl in some stuff and I can't really get out. Can you shoot by there for me real quick? Duh. Of course I can shoot by there. Not think, so I don't know if anybody else is like this, but definitely back then you didn't think about repercussions or what could happen and possibilities. And you just thought in your head, this is what I'm going to do and this is how it's going to turn out and then I'm good. So I pull up and it's about 60 people outside of this girl's house with bats and sticks and rocks and jacks and all type of stuff. And they want blood. They trying to get in. And it's just me pulling up in my red Cavalier.
Mm-hmm.
old school Cavalier. Don't get me going now. And I get over there and basically diffuse the situation, right? And that caused a little bit of a riffle in our relationship at that time. And for me, I couldn't understand why I was so confused. I understand now because I'm old head, but back then I could not understand why is this such a riffle. Because my thought, okay, so before I even tell you my thought, I'm gonna slide across and ask KD, what was your version of that? Did I miss anything in telling this part of the story so far?
That's what happened.
Okay. And then what were you feeling when I left from the comfort of your legs and the belly to go handle some business?
Well, I was upset because I'm like, you still are conducting yourself as if it's only you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got a son on the way, like we building a family, and you want to go and rescue somebody else's girlfriend. You taking care of somebody else's business.
Right.
If he couldn't get there, then he couldn't get there. Like, but for you to put yourself in danger and you got a son on the way is like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
Like, grow up.
I wasn't ready to grow up, first off.
Clearly.
Secondly, I always put it into the perspective of if it was you, I would want to be able to call somebody and say, look, I can't get there. Can you go do it?
You said that.
You know what I'm saying? Without them saying, no, that's your girl. I'm not about to put myself. And I would have had to respectfully understand that, but I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have respectfully understood it.
I felt like the person who you were going to save was a troublemaker. Like, yeah, she got all them people went outside her house because she was a good girl. I'm sure she did something because she was always doing something, and they were always calling you. So,
yeah, and so gratefully, nothing happened. That took me away from the family, right? But then, can't you also make the argument that even without starting a family, it is still selfish to do things like that, knowing that you got like a parent at the crib, mama, or father, whatever. Like, we never really put that in perspective as well. We just like, no, we starting a family now. You got to be here for your family. You know what I'm saying? Did that put a sour taste in your mouth from the person who made the call?
No, not for the person who made the call. I just didn't. I felt the way about the person who the call was for, and I feel like that because I felt like she moved in a way where somebody was always going to come rescue her. Like, y'all always was going to get her out her mess. So she didn't move in a way that she cared about what happened to y'all, and I didn't like that.
Okay.
And I was vocal about that.
Yeah, definitely vocal about it, and to the point where I didn't understand it, and I don't. You know what? I'm be honest. I don't even think I tried to understand it at the time. You know what I mean? Did you at one point turn around and look and say, "Let me see this from his side and see if it makes sense that way"?
No,
or did you already? Okay.
Like,
so,
it wasn't that I didn't understand why you did it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understood why you did it because I mean, you always was the call for everybody. Hell, even my older brothers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always was the call. So I did understand that because they felt safe and they knew that you would protect whatever situation was going on. That's why they were calling you. But I felt like you have a new responsibility that should trump all other responsibilities.
Now, do you think that you as a mother who get to feel the responsibility even before the father does, in my opinion, because you got to make life changes with your body, certain things you can't eat now, certain things you can't drink now once you get pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those, we don't get those type of moments,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So do you think that could have played a major factor in that because it wasn't surreal yet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was our first one. We were still kids, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Because this was the year I graduated in June.
Mm-hmm.
We had we gave birth to the baby in August.
Mhm.
So that little time frame in the middle, this is when all this is going down.
Yeah, that's why I said it had to be like July, because I know you got your car for graduation / your birthday,
Yeah.
which was in June, and it was before he was born, which was August. So that's why I'm like, it had to happen like July.
Yeah. So July, hot girl summer before hot girl summer was the thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um,
And fun fact, that summer was what they used to call an Indian summer. So our weather was like 100+ degrees. And when you pregnant, 100+ degrees is 200+ degrees.
and yeah.
And then, like, you're emotional, you like, all these things. And then when you add anger on top of that, because I was mad. I was heated, as they say.
What was something that you took from this situation though? Something like maybe something that you was like, okay, I learned something about him in this situation.
I mean, I didn't learn anything about you because I already knew that you were like the protector, the enforcer. I already knew that.
Okay. All right, cool. So in this, I guess the reason why we brought this up was because sometimes we don't see things from everybody else's perspective, right? I want to show the people that's listening out there that, there's more than one way to look at certain situations, and then both ways could be right or both ways could be wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to be able to, for one, have the conversation about it, break it down like that, that's a major factor to me. What I learned from this situation, because I was like, honestly, I was by myself at that time, like in my head. You feel what I'm saying? Like in my head, but not realizing that I had my completion with me. That okay, she see things before I see things, and you just kind of sit back as a man. I sit back and I think like, oh, I guess she was kind of right.
Kind of.
I guess she was kind of right. Like there'd be a lot of situations like that where you don't be right at the time, and then as time progresses, I'm like, oh, I guess she was kind of right. She won't give me the winning lottery numbers, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna move on to this next situation that we had going on, right? So if anybody has been following us and know our story, you know that we had, some rocky moments here and there that made us strong to where we are today, right? I feel like no situation that you go through is for you, right? It's literally for you to learn from it and then give it to somebody else to be able to get through what they're going through. So our biggest hurdle that we had to overcome was what? Infidelity. How did I know she was going to say that? But anyway, I wanted to bring up a situation that happened even before I even knew what that word was, right? So when we first get together, sometimes you don't realize you have issues or problems, right? You don't sit and dissect it or figure it out until later down the line. So when we first, we weren't first together. We was already together for a minute at this time, but we were still super young. What was our second? Because our first job that we had together was KFC.
That's how we met.
So that's how we met. What was our second job that we had together? You don't have to say the name of it if you don't want to. You can just say the industry.
We worked at a strip club.
Okay. So she was a stripper and
I was not.
Oh, no, my bad. No, she wasn't a stripper. No.
First of all, my cousin owned the bar. He didn't even want me to go inside of the bar. No. I was the door girl.
Yeah, she was at the door, and we were doing the security team of we were trying to make sure everything was nice and secure. All right.
DTM put himself as a security.
Yeah. They was like, you know what? Come on. But the crazy thing is, at the time, I was even too young to be in the building.
That's true.
So I was like, I'm here. Let's go. Hey, wait a minute. I get to throw people out, and this is a job? I love this. I love this job. I can get so much frustration off. I'm like, who? Which one did it? Get him up out of here. All right. So, and I love the fact that we definitely had the most safe environment on the inside. Now, when you go outside, you're in your own zone, but when you get in this building, you can rest assured that you're gonna be safe regardless, right?
Yep.
But um again, it's a strip club. And not only is it just a strip club, it is the hottest strip club
Definitely.
in probably the Midwest.
Definitely.
Like we would it was competing with Atlanta, right? We was competing with Houston. It was
Yep.
Houston, Atlanta, Detroit.
Yep.
That's what you were talking about. And so to be in this type of environment, and we got the hottest strip club in the Midwest, of course you can imagine we probably got some of the nicest women in there.
Right.
And now when I look back, I said, man, they had a crackhead in the crack house
Yeah.
working. Because this was before you realize you got a problem. I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, but I always try to lead with at least, some kind of moral respect type situation where
Decorum.
I don't
Yeah.
want it to be just out disrespectful type thing. But again, sometimes you're doing wrong, you don't even realize you're doing wrong, right? Um, so and what was even funnier when I was thinking about the situation, what did you used to call me back in the day?
Pookie.
So her nickname
Bro.
for me back in the day was Pookie. So if anybody is in our age range,
Bro.
you know where that came from, the Carter and all
Well,
that good
that's not
stuff.
why I called you that,
But
but that's
all
just
right,
funny.
cool. All right, I'm like, oh, she knew again. She was right. All right, cool. But dealing with an issue that you don't realize is the issue, and you're in the environment, this is a clear sign of trying to fix the problem while you still in the problem,
Mhm.
instead of stepping outside of it and seeing what the problem is and then going from there, right? So, man, um, this was a hard thing to deal with. You know what I'm saying? To be able to trying to ignore a problem, but not knowing it is a problem, and then hoping that it disappear.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, what was your feelings? What's your feelings now? I know what your feelings were then.
I was about to
What is your
say,
feelings now about like seeing how things transpired, dealing with the infidelity issues while I was in the infidelity house of infidelity? Like
damn.
that's like it was the house of infidelity.
I mean, when I look back on that, I'm thankful that I didn't leave. Um, I'm thankful that I did see something on the other side because, and I tell you this often, although you struggle with being faithful, that was to me, from what I saw, that was the only struggle that we had,
Mhm.
right? Like you always made sure me and the boys were taken care of. Like we never were homeless or hungry or without transportation. Like so, if I had a checklist, that would be the only thing that was missing. So, I mean, when your shoes dirty, you don't throw them away. You clean them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's like it's a stone missing out my ring right now. I'm not gonna throw the ring away, right? I'm
Right.
going to get it fixed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then we've always had a really good friendship. Like we've always been able to, you know, be honest with each other. I mean, outside of that, but um, it's just it was always worth saving to me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did get to a point where I was like, yeah, I'm good, bro. Like you ain't gonna never change, and I deserve better.
And the thing that you just said is like us with the honesty thing, right? And I think a dangerous part is sometimes we're not honest with ourselves.
Yeah,
So it's impossible for us to be honest with anybody else, because if I'm lying to me and I feel like it's true, then who are you to tell me I'm lying?
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So to be able to sit down and really chop up what the actual issue is,
Mhm.
I think that's one of my biggest flexes right there.
Right.
Is to say, I sat down, I did the work, I figured out what the issue was,
Mm-hmm.
and I corrected it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I realized that it's still a weakness. It's kind of like, when people do, when people are on crack, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that they wanted to do. They was trying to like escape from something.
Right.
And they developed the habit of doing crack in the midst of the storm that they was in.
Right.
Even if you become, even if you get through that storm,
You still a recovering addict.
not only that, you still may have the itch to do the crack still.
Oh yeah.
Right, because now you done developed a new habit in the midst of trying to fight something that you was already in. So that's it's to me, and I hear a lot of people talk about this who and have never even dealt with infidelity, right? And it kind of makes me cringe a little bit because I'm like, you don't even know. Like, I can't talk about how I feel to do crack.
Right.
Never done it.
Right.
I can't talk about the nicotine itches and things. Never done it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I can talk about the infidelity and the fight toward not dealing with it anymore. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest way for me to get over, to be stronger than that, was to look at the person that was hurt behind it.
Yeah.
And realize that they were more important than whatever the reason was that I was doing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, talk about it.
I know people ask me often, like, how do you get over it? And I just feel like the only way to get over it is to, well, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, I had to realize it had nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have nothing to do with me.
Right.
It didn't matter how many times I had sex with you or did, it had absolutely nothing to do with me. So once I realized that I wasn't at fault for what you were doing, it made me look at myself differently. Which is why I say the last affair you had, that affair almost ruined our marriage because it didn't have nothing to do with me.
Right.
It was all you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a difficult place to be in,
mm-hmm.
because as long as I was blaming me, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
So how can I leave you for what I did and or didn't do? Right?
Yeah.
So once that clicked in my head that it wasn't my fault, like, so all this is your fault.
Mm-hmm. That's what we want. Yeah.
That was just a very hard place to be.
Yeah. I get that. And I struggle sometimes with, like, I have an issue with being the person that solve problems, right? So when this was going down, I was the reverse of you, because I never really did the work to know what was causing this. So it was easier for me to say, no, this is your fault.
Yeah.
But the growth in me showed me, not just in this situation is what actually started it, but it showed me, if I can make this my fault, then I can fix it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I enter every situation with, okay, this is my fault. How can I fix this?
Right.
Because I know that if it's not my fault and it is your fault, then there's nothing that I can do, and it's everything that you have to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to remove any way that you had, because once I did the work and seen, where it came from, and this is the one thing I do want people to take from this episode, is that I want you to really do the work and figure out why you make some decisions that you make. Where did it come from? Why did you do it? Because I can tell you honestly, when I got caught, I said, okay, I ain't gonna do that more. And I meant that. I ain't gonna do that no moment. More. Yeah. But the problem was, you can't say that if you don't know why you did it in the beginning.
And maybe you didn't do that anymore, because then you could just find somebody else to do it with. So maybe in your mind you didn't do that again.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have the same person, it wasn't the same, or whatever. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's how serial killers are start. Now you're a serial cheater, and then you don't even realize it. You're like, oh man. But it's all about knowing why you did it in the beginning. That's the only way. The only way you can get on the other side of it and mean, all right, I ain't gonna do this no more because I'm gonna fix why I did it in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a 2-part solution there that you got to get to. I love episodes like this, and this is just the first of the twist of how we doing this. So
that was hard.
So if y'all want to go down this roller coaster ride with us, man,
My bad,
just know that at the end your hands is gonna be up, your heart rate gonna be up a little bit, but then we're gonna bring you back around, and you're gonna hear us say stuff like, "I'm the husband
and I'm the wife."
And this has been another episode of Marriage Material. We'll see you next week. Peace.
You got me living my, you got me living my, you got me living my. What I need to do to make you see that it ain't another woman out here right for me. You got me living my, you got me living my.